The tantrum trick is real, but none of those videos tell you this. 19 million people watched a parent say one word and stop a toddler's tantrum cold, and almost none of them got an explanation for why it worked. That is the gap this video fills, and what is inside that gap is more useful than the trick itself. Here is what happened in your child's brain when that parent said, "Jessica." Your child was stuck in something brain researchers call an amygdala hijack. Plain language version, the alarm part of the brain had taken over. When that happens, the thinking part goes quiet. Your child is not choosing to scream. Their alarm is running the show. They cannot stop it any more than you can stop sneezing once it starts. Then someone said, "Jessica." The brain heard something that did not fit, something unexpected. And the brain has a built-in reflex, researchers call it the orienting response, that makes every person stop and check when something unexpected happens. It is like a motion sensor. Something moves, everything pauses, the brain looks. That pause shut the alarm down, just long enough for the thinking brain to come back. Crying stopped, not because the child felt better, because the brain got interrupted. That is the whole trick. A brain interrupt. Pure biology. Here is what the research also says, though. Novelty researcher Daniel Berline documented that the orienting response fades with repetition. The same unexpected thing stops being unexpected. Most children adapt to a single technique within 3 to 5 days. Once they do, that technique stops working. So, you need a rotation. Here are 3 pattern interrupts that work differently enough from each other that you can cycle through them before your child's brain catches up. The first one is the mystery question. Instead of a name, ask something that makes no sense in the moment, such as, "Wait, did you hear that?" Or, "What is that smell?" The brain cannot help checking. The alarm pauses, while the thinking brain tries to figure out what you mean. You only need 2 or 3 seconds. That is your window. The second one is the sudden task. Hand your child something unexpected to hold. Keys, a spoon, a piece of paper. Ask them to hold it for you, but not a favorite toy or something they are familiar with. Researchers studying distraction in children have found that putting something physical in a child's hands pulls attention through the body, not just the ears. The physical sensation interrupts the spiral in a different way than a sound does. When the mystery question has worn out, the sudden task still lands. The third one is the whisper. Drop your voice as low as it will go. Almost nothing. Most parents get louder when a child gets loud. The brain expects that. When you do the opposite, the child's brain has to work to hear you. That effort pulls the thinking brain forward. Researchers studying voice and emotional regulation have found that a sudden drop in adult volume is one of the slowest techniques to wear out, because it requires the parent to decide, stay calm, and most do not. Your child's brain will keep responding to it longer than either of the other 2. Rotate these 3. Mystery question first. Sudden task, when that fades. Whisper, when that fades. Come back to the mystery question after a couple of weeks. The brain will have reset enough that the surprise lands again. Now here is what none of the Jessica trick videos went anywhere near. If what you are learning right now about why the Jessica trick works and what to do when it stops working is giving you something you can actually use, please take a second to like and subscribe. This channel goes past the viral tricks into the reason underneath them. That is a hard thing for the algorithm to find on its own. But your one click helps the next parent, similar to your circumstances, find this helpful video. Thank you for taking a second to help. So to continue. All 3 of these techniques work on the alarm after it fires. They interrupt it. They buy you a window. But they do not touch on why the alarm was firing in the first place. Researchers studying tantrums in young children have found that a child's biggest emotional explosions, the ones that happen at home, with you, not at school or with other adults, are almost always connected to one thing: fear of losing the connection with the parent they love most. Your child does not have words for that fear yet, so it comes out as screaming. The Yucatec Maya people, an indigenous group who have lived in the jungles of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula for thousands of years, were studied by researchers at the University of California in a 2023 peer-reviewed study on children's emotional responses. Those researchers found that Yucatec Maya children escalated into full tantrums far less often than children raised in Western households. And the key difference traced back to one thing. In the first seconds of a child's distress, Maya parents moved closer. They made physical contact. They reduced noise around the child. They did not speak first. They arrived first. The researchers called this co-regulation a calm adult body, sending a safety signal directly to a child's alarm system. No words needed, just presence. Just the message that you are not going anywhere. That same instinct lives inside a concept from traditional Japanese culture called ma, a word that means the deliberate use of stillness. Not silence because you have nothing to say, silence as a choice, silence as presence on purpose. In Japanese households studied by cultural researchers, parents were documented pausing before responding to a child's distress, rather than immediately filling the space with talking or instructions. That pause told the child's brain one thing: there is no emergency here. I am still here. You are safe. Researchers studying Japanese parent and child interaction found that Japanese mothers use significantly less talking during a child's distress than Western mothers, and their children recovered from upset faster. The pause itself was the message. Both the Maya parents and the Japanese concept of ma were doing the same thing from opposite sides of the world. They were lowering the alarm before it reached full power, using the one signal a child's brain responds to before any word lands: presence. The pattern interrupt buys you 2 seconds. Presence buys you the rest. Before the biblical layer that ties all of this together, take 2 minutes to find out which inherited pattern shapes how you show up in those first seconds of your child's distress. With the help of some powerful AI research systems, I've created an app to help bridge the gaps between parent and child. The link to my free pattern identifier quiz app is in the description below. It takes just 2 minutes. Again, the link in the description. Now, how does ancient wisdom explain how to approach this issue? Let's find out together. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17, says this: "A friend loves at all times, not when it is easy, not when the child is calm and cooperative, and makes you proud, at all times." That verse was written as a description of what chosen, steady presence looks like, the kind that does not leave when things get hard. That is what your child's brain is scanning for before every tantrum starts. It is not looking for the right consequence. It is not looking for a technique. It is asking 2 questions, but your child needs to know just one answer. With every escalating moment, every screaming fit, every meltdown that seems out of nowhere: are you still choosing me? Am I still important to you? A tantrum is not a power grab. It is a test. And the test has only one answer that works long term. Not a trick, not a rotation of techniques. The deliberate, visible, repeated choice to stay present when the relationship gets messy. The Maya parents knew it. The Japanese concept of ma named it. And Proverbs captured it in 6 words thousands of years before a single research study confirmed what it meant for a child developing brain. Your child falls apart with you because you are the relationship their brain is most afraid to lose. That is the whole answer. If this changes how you see what happens when your child loses it, the next step is to watch my pillar video. It is called "Why Your Child is Exactly Who History Said," and it traces every pattern behind your child's behavior and your inherited parenting approach through 4,000 years of documented history. It is the clearest picture this channel offers of what is driving your family right now. And if you don't watch any other video on this channel, the pillar video is the one to watch. The link is in the description. I will see you there.